In 1931, a 7-year-old Amish girl in Lancaster County could preserve eggs for 2 years, brew a better cough syrup than any drugstore, and keep meat shelf-stable all summer without electricity. Today, most Americans cannot keep bread fresh past Thursday. Number 9 achieves voluntary retention. No modern organization has ever documented. Number 6. Textile engineers with servo motors still cannot replicate it. Nobody bothered writing these down. Every Amish child already knew them. Number 30. Layering vegetables in damp sand. Amish families packed carrots, beets, and parsnips into wooden crates in alternating layers of slightly damp sand. The sand held just enough moisture to prevent shriveling, while blocking the ethylene gas that vegetables release, the gas that accelerates ripening and rot in everything nearby. A properly packed crate kept root vegetables firm from October through April. Today, pre-cut carrots go limp in a kitchen drawer in 5 days. Number 29. Preserving eggs in water glass up to 2 years. Farm wives submerged clean eggs, pointy end down, in sodium silicate solution, 9 parts water and 1 part silicate. The solution is sealed directly into the porous shell, cutting off all gas and microbial entry. April eggs were indistinguishable from fresh the following January. The USDA officially recommended this method during World War II food rationing. Most people today have never heard of it. Number 28. Packing cooked meat in rendered lard. Cooked pork cuts were submerged completely under freshly rendered lard in stoneware crocks. The solidified fat sealed every surface against bacteria and oxygen. The result? 8 to 10 months of shelf-stable meat. No refrigeration, no freezer, no vacuum machine. Harvard confirmed in 2020 that rendered lard contains the same heart-healthy oleic acid as olive oil. 60 years of nutrition advice said lard was deadly. The Amish never stopped using it. Number 27. Fermenting cabbage. The $30 pill problem. Cabbage, pickling salt, a river rock for weight. 6 weeks in a cellar crock. The lactobacillus bacteria that develop are the exact strains probiotic companies encapsulate and sell for $30 a bottle. A 2019 Mayo Clinic study confirmed traditional fermented vegetables outperform every commercial probiotic supplement on the market. The Amish have been making this since before the United States existed. Number 26. Cold smoking. Why Amish ham tastes different. The Amish smokehouse never let smoke touch meat directly. Smoldering hickory burned outside the building. The smoke traveled through a trench at under 100 degrees. That slow, cold process produced over 200 distinct flavor compounds. A modern electric smoker produces roughly 40. A properly cold-smoked Amish ham was then aged a full year before anyone cut into it. A Virginia country ham made this way sells for $150 today. In 1940, every Amish farm made a dozen for the cost of firewood. Here's where it gets heavier. The next skill was declared legally unsafe by modern food regulators, yet it fed entire communities through the Great Depression without a single recorded case of food poisoning. Number 25. Salt curing pork by hand feel. The skill regulators banned. 8 pounds of salt and 2 pounds of brown sugar, rubbed by hand into every surface for a full hour. The critical skill was not the ratio. It was the press test. An experienced curer pushed his thumb into the thickest part of the ham, then read the resistance. Too soft meant spoilage, and firm enough meant 2 years at room temperature. That knowledge lived entirely in a person's fingertips. When USDA regulations in the 1970s required refrigeration at every stage, The method became illegal in commercial settings. The knowledge stopped being passed down within a single generation. Number 24. The medicinal garden. $80 a month, or free. Every Amish homestead grew comfrey, chamomile, peppermint, echinacea, and elderberry within arm's reach of the back door. Not decoration, function. Comfrey's allantoin accelerates wound healing. Chamomile's apigenin binds the same GABA receptors targeted by many prescription sleep aids. Peppermint relaxes the smooth muscle of the digestive tract. These are published mechanisms, not folk claims. The garden costs a seed packet. The monthly equivalent at a health store runs about $80. Number 23. Honey and thyme cough syrup. Confirmed better than the drugstore. Raw honey, fresh thyme, simmered low and strained into glass. A 2021 Oxford University review of over 2,000 patients found honey outperformed over-the-counter cough suppressants in both symptom relief and duration. Thyme adds rosmarinic acid, a documented anti-inflammatory. A bottle of commercial cough syrup costs $12 and carries a list of side effects. The Amish version costs the time in the garden. Number 22. Plantain leaf poultice. The weed you walk past every day, not the banana. The broadleaf weed grows through every sidewalk crack in North America. Amish healers applied chewed fresh plantain directly to infected cuts, embedded splinters, and stings. It contains aucubin, a confirmed antimicrobial, and allantoin, the same cell-regenerating compound found in comfrey. A 2018 review in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology confirmed both mechanisms. You have walked past this plant your entire life without knowing what it was. Number 21. Elderberry syrup. 4 fewer days of flu. Black elderberries, raw honey, and cinnamon, simmered and bottled. A 2016 randomized placebo-controlled trial in the journal Nutrients found elderberry extract cut cold duration by 2 days and flu symptoms by 4. The active anthocyanins directly inhibit viral replication at the cell wall. The Amish have made this every fall for 200 years. It retails in health stores for $22 for 8 ounces. The Amish make a quart for what grows along the fence line. Controversy incoming. The next entry involves a plant that sends people to the emergency room every April. But the Amish healers who knew the preparation turned it into one of the most potent spring remedies in American folk medicine. Number 20. Triple boiled poke shoots. 1 boil kills you, 3 heal you. Mature pokeweed is genuinely poisonous. The rule is 3 full boils, fresh water each time, fully drained between. First shoots only, under 6 inches tall. Each boil leaches the phytolactotoxin. What remains is a mineral-dense green that Amish families ate as a spring tonic after months of root cellar food. A 2019 pharmacology review confirmed that young poke shoots contain potent anti-inflammatory compounds. The preparation knowledge is the difference between medicine and poison. Almost nobody knows it anymore. Number 19. Clay and activated charcoal wound packing. Before reliable antibiotic access, infected wounds were packed with food-grade clay and powdered activated charcoal. Held under clean linen, clay draws bacteria outward through ionic attraction. Activated charcoal absorbs toxins through its enormous surface area. CDC wound care literature acknowledges clinically meaningful antimicrobial activity from activated charcoal. The Amish called it what their grandmother taught them. The mechanism is real. Number 18. Barn raising. 40 people 1 day, no invoice. On the appointed Saturday at dawn, 40 to 60 men arrive from every farm within 10 miles. By sundown, A 30 by 40 foot timber frame barn stood fully framed, rafters pegged, roof sheathed. No contractor, no permit delay. The women cooked for 3 days. No money changed hands in either direction. A Harvard study on social capital found communities with strong mutual aid traditions show measurably higher long-term economic resilience than cash-dependent ones. Number 17, hand-tooled joinery. Why Amish furniture outlasts the house. Amish furniture is expensive because every joint is cut by hand to the specific piece of wood in front of the maker. The maker accounts for its grain direction, its moisture content, and its irregularities. A machine-cut joint meets a tolerance. A hand-cut joint meets the wood. That is why Amish chairs and tables survive multiple generations, while flat-pack furniture warps in 3 years. Number 16, fro split shingles. 50 years versus 15. A fro splits shingles from white oak by following the grain rather than cutting across it. That unbroken grain runs from surface to underside, so water follows the fibers off the edge instead of soaking into an open cut face. A fro split oak roof lasts 50 years. A sawn shingle lasts 15 years. Penn State's Wood Science Department confirmed the mechanism in 2017. The Amish have known it since the 1700s. If this is landing, hit subscribe. More like this every week. Now, back to it. Number 15, blacksmithing for daily repair. 30 minutes instead of Amazon. Every Amish farm had a working forge because broken tools meant 30 minutes at the anvil, not a delivery window. Reading hot metal by color is the foundational skill. Red is workable. Orange allows shaping. Yellow allows welding. White means you have burned the carbon out of the steel. A farmer who knew that sequence could repair a cracked plow blade or fabricate a new hinge before the morning was over, without a course, without a tutorial. Number 14, the hydraulic ram pump. No motor, no electricity, no fuel. It sits in a moving creek and uses the momentum of flowing water to force a portion of that water uphill through pipes to a storage tank. When a fast-moving column of water hits a valve and stops suddenly, the pressure spike drives water against gravity. No motor, no electricity, no fuel. The pump runs indefinitely on the energy of the stream itself. Amish farms with a creek supplied uphill barns and houses this way. Most Americans have never seen one. Number 13, multi-stage sand and charcoal filtration. Water passed through barrels packed in sequence with gravel, coarse sand, fine sand, hardwood charcoal, and fine sand again. Each layer removed different particle sizes and contamination types. The charcoal absorbed organic compounds, heavy metals, and pathogens. The water was then boiled. No power, no cartridges, no supply chain. The materials, gravel, sand, and ash from a fire. Number 12, passive home cooling. 15 degrees without a compressor. Deep overhanging eaves block direct summer sun while admitting low-angle winter light. Thick stone walls absorbed daytime heat and released it slowly overnight. North to south window placement created cross-ventilation without trapping afternoon sun. A below-grade root cellar kept the ground floor cooler year-round. Combined, these choices held interior temperatures 15 degrees below outside air on peak summer afternoons. No compressor, no refrigerant, no $800 August electric bill. Number 11, seed saving. The 50-year investment. Every harvest, Amish farmers saved seeds from the strongest individual plants, not the largest fruits, but the ones that perform best under their specific conditions. The same selection, in the same fields, through cold springs and dry summers and early frosts, year after year for 50 years. Those seeds developed genetic adaptation to that land. A seed library built across 2 generations cannot be purchased. The adaptation is in the selection history, not the seed type. Number 10. Lye soap from wood ash. Total cost 0. Rainwater through hardwood ash produced potassium, Li. Concentration was tested with a fresh egg. A quarter-size circle showing above the waterline meant it was ready. Combined with rendered fat and stirred continuously for 3 hours, it saponified into soap, poured into muslin-lined wooden molds, and cured for 6 weeks. It cleaned floors, washed hair, and scrubbed wounds. Every ingredient came from what was already there: fat from cooking, ash from the fire, rain from the sky. The cash cost was 0. Number 9. Barter. The economy that survived the Depression. In the 1930s, federal investigators were sent to Amish communities to find out why they were not suffering the way their neighbors were. What they found was a parallel economy that had never fully surrendered to cash. Labor traded for labor. Preserved food traded for repair work. Knowledge traded for goods. The family that butchered your hog ate at your table. The Amish did not need a functioning banking system because they had built something more durable than one. Number 8. Reading weather through animal behavior. Confirmed by NOAA. Cows lying down meant rain within hours. Chickens refusing the roost past sunrise meant a storm. Swallows flying low meant dropping barometric pressure. NOAA research has confirmed that animals detect pressure changes through inner ear structures and cutaneous receptors that humans lack entirely. A farmer who read his livestock got 3 wagon loads of hay under cover before the sky changed. A farmer who trusted the weather app lost them. Number 7. Passing knowledge through doing, not watching. Amish children learn homestead skills beside a parent from the time they can hold a tool. By 12, an Amish child has personally butchered a chicken, canned 200 jars, set a peg at a barn raising, and assisted in delivering a calf. Not watched. Done. The neurological difference between observing a skill and performing it under pressure is the difference between declarative and procedural memory. One of those disappears when the power goes out. The other does not. Number 6. Clothing repair. 20 years versus 1 season. A worn collar was not a reason to replace a coat. It was 10 minutes at the table. Every Amish girl could produce functional clothing by age 10. A well-maintained wool coat lasted 20 years. The fast fashion industry now produces over 100 billion garments per year globally. The average American discards 81 pounds of clothing annually, most of it still structurally sound, failing only at a seam or a button. An Amish grandmother would not understand math. Number 5. Candle making from tallow. Beef fat saved over a year, melted, poured over cotton wicking, and dipped repeatedly until a taper built up. A dozen tallow candles lit a family through an entire winter of dark evenings. The Rural Electrification Act reached the last American farmhouses in the late 1940s. Within a decade, a craft practiced for 3,000 years was performed by almost no one. It took less than 1 generation to forget entirely. Number 4. The root cellar as a precision climate system. It sits 8 feet into a north-facing hillside, lined with fieldstone, with double doors and a single ventilation pipe. No electricity, no moving parts. The thermal mass of the earth maintained a steady 34 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. and 85% humidity year-round, automatically. Cornell confirmed in 2021 that root cellar storage preserves more nutrients than any modern refrigeration system because the slow, natural temperature cycle mirrors the soil conditions in which those plants evolved. 300 pounds of potatoes, 100 pounds of carrots, an entire family's food supply through April, kept by a hole in a hillside that costs nothing to run. Number 3, the full fall harvest put up, 90% versus 2%. From August through October, every day produced something to preserve. Tomatoes canned, beans pressure canned, corn dried, peaches jarred, cucumbers pickled, apples into sauce, butter, and cider vinegar. By the first frost, 400 jars, 200 pounds of root vegetables, smoked meats, salted bacon, dried beans, aging cheese, all from the same land, same family, same methods as their grandparents. The USDA estimated in 1925 that the average American farm family was 90% self-sufficient in food. Today, that number is below 2%. That is not progress. That is exposure. Number 2, knowing which plants your land grows for healing. Before any medicine was purchased, Amish families knew what grew on their specific land and what each plant treated. Wild yarrow for bleeding, mullein for lung complaints, St. John's wort for nerve pain, Jerusalem artichoke for winter calories. That knowledge was built by walking the same land for decades, noting what appeared after wet years and dry ones. It was not generic herbalism. It was a map of one specific place. That kind of local knowledge cannot be looked up. It can only be accumulated. Number 1, knowing your land. Every Amish farmer knew which corner of the field drained the fastest after rain, which slope warmed 2 weeks earlier in spring, which tree line broke the north wind in January, where the spring ran cold in July, where the soil was heavy clay, and where it ran light. That knowledge was built across a lifetime and handed down, observation by observation, to the next generation. It told you when to plant and when to wait, where to dig the root cellar, where to set the windbreak. It was the foundation every other skill on this list was built on, and it cannot be searched. It cannot be downloaded. It can only be earned by staying in one place long enough to pay attention. Most of us gave up that option before we ever knew it existed. Subscribe for more, and tell me below, which trick are you actually going to try first?